To show you is one of the reasons why I really enjoy Python, and that's the ease with which I can create things that essentially just look cool. And cool is the word that really matters. So I'm going to be using Pygame, and I know Pygame is not supposed to be used like as a graphics engine, but it's just simple. And what we want to do is cool things that are simple. So I'm going to create a simple screen, which is going to be 400 by 400, and just shout if something surprises you or if something looks weird. And now what I'm going to create is an infinite loop to handle Pygame events just so that the window doesn't freeze, right? Now this is irrelevant, this is the infrastructure. Now what I'll do is I'll define a very innocent looking function. It's just z squared plus c. Very innocent, right? Now what I'll do is I'll go through the screen. So I'll go through the rows and columns of the screen, and I'll create a complex number depending on where we're at right now. So the real part of the complex number is going to be, and now you don't have to, this is going to look magical, but just because I was testing numbers, right? So what I'm going to do is take the 400 by 400 and change the coordinates so that it's a 3 by 3 square that's slightly off-centered. So I'm going to take the x divided by width, that takes it to 0, 1, multiply by 3, you have the 3 width, and now I'm going to change the center, and now the imaginary part is going to be similar, right? This one can be centered, it's going to be fine. And now I'm going to create z. It's a complex number with these real and imaginary parts. Now I also need a c, because if you see here, f takes two numbers, and I'm going to need both of them. And now what I'll do now is, sorry for the repetition, so what I'll do now is create just a constant, magical constant, because they look great. And now what I'll do, again, sorry. So because I have a very serious limitation, I cannot do two things at once. So when I'm typing, I can't think. And if I can't think, I can't speak. And if I can't speak, I say the same thing over and over again. So now what I'll do is, for each pixel, I'm going to call the function f a bunch of times. But not a random number of times, only while the current iteration hasn't been for too long, and the absolute value of z is smaller than 2. And if these conditions are satisfied, what I'll do is I'll update z. Very innocent looking, yeah? And now what I'm done, one of two things happen. Either the absolute value of z is greater than 2, or it isn't. And so I'm going to color I'm going to color the pixel I'm in, depending on whether I have a number with a big absolute value or not. Now, British spelling here doesn't work for Pygame. I'm very posh. Thank you. And now let's make this a... I never know which color is which, so I'll refrain from saying... Sorry? Black and white. No, I know it's black and white. I don't know which one is which. So, oh, again, I always do... So I did a couple of trial runs and I always forgot to update my screen. Right, so if I was drawing on the surface, this is just the way Pygame works, we need to flip the screen. And now this creates a very interesting figure, and it didn't take a lot of code. And I'll take one more minute to make this look prettier. And now the fun part is you can spend a lot of time just tinkering with the colors, which is what we're going to add here. We're going to add colors. So instead of black and white, I'm going to create a color for each different value that the auxiliary variable iter can take. So what I'll do is I'll create an empty, quote unquote, because it's not really empty. I'll just create a random color, doesn't matter what values I put in, and now I'm going to assign the HSLA color to it. And this is where you can get creative. Again, this is just a value that I played with and it seemed to work fine. It's not something you just... I was not sitting there and I realized, yeah, of course I need to do the power of 0.8 because that's obviously the perfect choice. So that's not how I did it. I just spent way too much time playing around. So now we append the C, and for the visual effects, we get rid of those, and we take the colors and we index with the variable iter. Now, this is slightly bigger now, so it's going to take a blink of an eye, except, yes, it works. Okay, so this is why I really like Python. It didn't take me a lot of time. Of course, I rehearsed, but it didn't take a lot of time, and it looks neat, right? So if you want the code and just a little bit more background, you can scan the QR code. Otherwise, thank you for your time.